Hello, young lad, do you know? Every angel wears a red cape. I can see you holding a soccer ball. Would you like to hear a story about a great club and how it all began? They began small and hungry. In 1878, a group of railway workers in Manchester formed a team called Newton Heath. They played in shirts patched together, on rough fields, with a love for the game bigger than their pockets. The people of the town came to watch, cheering through rain and mud. That simple joy would grow into something the world would remember. This is a story of Manchester United Football Club was formed from carriage and wagon department of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Depot at Newton Heath. The team initially played games against other departments and rail companies at their home ground at North Road. You're about to hear what happened to this beautiful football club, the love, passion, pain, and tears this club had to go through. I want you to pay attention, and at the end of this story, you would know the reason why every angel wears a red cape.
One day, we should make a real football team. Us? We are railway workers. Maybe.
But even poor men deserve dreams, and his children after him, whereby everything is possible.
In every story, there's always a hero. And in this story, I am about to tell you Harry Stafford was the hero. He was in his early 30s of age. Tall and strong, forge out the iron and fire, broad shoulders, strong arms from railway work, looks tough from years of hard labor, walks with confidence even when tired. He has light skin, rough from cold weather and factory smoke, small scars on his hands. Always looking serious, he was the supervisor in Newton Heath, and also the team captain of Newton Heath. He gathered the best players from the factory aging from 1940 of age. But life is hard. Most player had less money to feed on, talk more or less of getting soccer boot and wears. They lose games, they have no hope, less dreams. Rich clubs laugh at them.
We have sweat and bled in the rain. Now we show them who we are. We are a team. Let's go.
After every game, Henry would walk Major his dog on the street of England, or to the marketplace. Major is a St. Bernard breed. He is huge, almost as big as a small bear. He has brown, white, thick, fluffy hair and wet often because of Manchester rain. His eyes are big, dark, and gentle. He is always emotional, feels like he understands people. Each time Henry walks Major, he would have children playing around him simply because Major was attractive to everyone.
He looks like a bear.
No, he is family. His name is Major.
Few days after Newton Heath match, one cold evening, Alfred walked into his office looking depressed. Alfred is the coach of Newton Heath. He has helped manage this boys for the longest. He has invested so much, including time and money. He loves the boys so much because he sees the passion this boys put into the game. But on this faithful day, he couldn't hide the pain he was going through. He had so much bills to pay, debtors coming in with threat. One of the debtors promised to burn his house if Alfred didn't come through with his sum. He had no choice than to call the team captain Henry.
We are finished. No money, no future.
Henry was speechless. At the same time, you could see the frustration and anger on his face, feeling really bad for himself and his teammate. Simply because that was all they had, they would leave pride and sentiment aside and play as one. For that few minutes, they would escape into their dreams, but that was about to come to an end because of debt owed by the club. On his way home, Henry thought of ways he could save the club. Talking to himself, he came up with a plan to have a fundraiser for Newton Heath Football Club, where the whole community will be invited. He made sure there were enough drinks and snacks to go round for everybody. It started late that evening, people of different class, kids playing around, different section of people talking to each other. It was a delightful evening. But something tragic had happened. Major Henry's dog was nowhere to be found. He became worried, so he went in search of his dog. You see, Henry and Major go way back to when they were kids. That's the story for the next episode. Stay tuned, and if you enjoying this, please like and subscribe. Henry went from street to street in search of the only family he's got left in this world, from residential buildings in Bower Street to to Lord Street, asking several people if they have come across his dog Major, describing what Major looks like to those who do not know him. Tears filled his face, running on the wet street of Manchester, shouting his name Major. There was no response. Henry felt his world was coming to an end. First and foremost, he was about to lose the team, knowing fully well that the hopes and dreams of his teammate was going to be cut short, of which many would go back to getting drunk and simply because of funds. He couldn't left alone live with that talk, more or less of he losing the only one person that brings joy to him. Major, as a captain of the team, giving up was never part of his plan. He went from streets to local roads in Manchester, from Old Church Street to Holland Street, where he saw a handsome young man in his 40s looking clean and rich. He also smelled really nice. You can perceive ointment perfume from a distance. He got there without hesitation and introduced himself to this handsome rich man, who paused for a while and looked at his stopwatch and asked him why he couldn't wait till morning, which Henry narrated his story, and how he was carried away in the process of sorting out money for his team. He also told Davies, the rich man, what soccer means to his team, a little of the struggles the team was facing at that time, and how he lost concentration on Major, his dog. Davies on the other end studied Harry carefully. Davies said to Henry eyeball to eyeball, saying, I think that dog belongs to a man with a story. Henry went home with so much joy and excitement, knowing fully well that Major was safe and back home. He also promised to check back on Davies in his office the next day, which Davies said he looks forward to seeing him. Who's Davies, you may ask? He was nicknamed the Silent Kingmaker. John Henry Davies, full name, known for his various business in the brewing industry and public houses and hotels, real estate together with bottling and engineering company in England. He's about 40s to 50 years of age. He's average of height, well-dressed, calm movements, never rushes, looks rich without showing off. Fair skin, clean and smooth, unlike the dirty workers around him. Hair, black hair with small gray lines, neatly combed. His eyes are dark brown, sharp and intelligent, looks like he can read people's secrets. He's got a thick mustache, calm expression, rarely smiles fully. His clothes are long black coat, expensive gloves, gold pocket watch, dark suits. You can say he is a great listener. The following day, Henry visited his office as promised, and they spoke at length, and the day after, lot of secret meeting in different spot. After so many questions asked by Davis, and also not coming from a rich, wealthy family, he understood Henry with the enthusiasm shown on Henry's part. David decided to invest, and at the time the club was struggling with the debt of €2,670, and he also promised to build a stadium for the team. He and 3 other top businessmen, which they eventually did in 1902. The name was changed from Newton Heath to Manchester United. They lost their first game on the newly built stadium, but went on to win different trophies and dominated leagues. And every common man had hoped to dream again. If this story of Manchester United means something to you today, share it. Right now. Send it to one person who needs to be reminded that sometimes the smallest heart carries the biggest courage. That's why we are Manchester United. Subscribe if you're not already here. Every week we bring you stories exactly like this one, about loyalty, about love, about the quiet miracles that happen when we slow down long enough to notice each other. Drop a comment below telling me, has an animal ever shown up in your life at exactly the right moment?